then you'll be found not guilty and released.
I'm saying, so I don't get a bond for an allegation like these is clearly allegations that is not true. How did I get released from the sheriff's department? And like, come on, man, like y'all can't be serious. How did I get released from the sheriff's department and be charged with a possession? Possession means I have something on me.
We're not going to argue this further today, Mr. Simmons. All right, we are on the record then in file 19-19648-FH, 23-21368-FH, and 24-22017-FH, People versus Antoine Lamar Simmons. We are here today for arraignments on probation violations in the 19-194648 case and the 23-21368-FH, and for a hearing on a contempt for violating bond conditions in the 24-22017-FH file. First, can I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, beginning with Mr. Hartung?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Doug Hartung, appearing for the people today.
David Goldstein, appearing on behalf of the defendant.
All right, and Mr. Simmons is present from the jail. Sir, you are Antoine Lamar Simmons, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Simmons, have you received the probation violation warrants in the 19 and the 23 case?
I believe so. It was that Thursday?
Those were filed yesterday.
No, sir.
All right. Is there an officer there with you that you can ask to get you a copy of the warrants?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Dude. She said she was calling.
All right. While they are getting those to you, Mr. Simmons, I will let you know that the warrants both allege the same thing. They allege one technical violation for, they each allege two technical violations for possession of controlled substances with intent to deliver. One count being possession with intent to deliver cocaine, the other intent to deliver heroin, and one non-technical violation. The arrest for possession with intent to deliver was a violation of criminal law, which would be a non-technical violation. The technical violation is just possession of controlled substance. In the 19-19648-FH case, you were convicted of one count of assaulting and resisting obstructing a police officer. The maximum possible penalty for that offense is up to 4 years in prison. You were also convicted of one count of delivery or manufacture of cocaine in that case, and the maximum possible punishment for that offense is up to 20 years in prison. In the 23-21368-FH, the warrant alleges the same probation violations, and in that case, you were convicted of larceny by conversion with a habitual offender third offense notice, making the maximum possible penalty in that case up to 10 years in prison. With respect to the 24 case, those are the violation of bond conditions, which we discussed, I believe, last Thursday and adjourned to today. You do have the right to be represented by an attorney with respect to these probation violations and any hearings that we have on them. Mr. Goldstein, are you going to be representing Mr. Simmons on the probation violations also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And do you know how Mr. Simmons wants to plead with respect to the probation violations?
He's going to stay in mute, ask that a not guilty plea be entered and matter be set for trial.
I will enter not guilty plea for Mr. Simmons. And do you want to set that for trial now, Mr. Goldstein?
Your Honor, I do. Mr. Hartung can speak to this better than I can. The problem with conducting a hearing, given the nature of what the allegations are, my anticipation is that there are going to be criminal charges filed. They were not filed as of yesterday. but Mr. Hartung can probably speak better to the status on those.
Sure, they are pending at this time, and I suspect they will be issued in the next during this week. I suspect they'll be issued.
So well, Your Honor, what I'd like to do, and I know it's a little unusual to ask this, but can we do a pretrial and a violation hearing just to see what this, like I said, it's going to be hard to conduct a hearing in this matter when I got criminal charges pending against my client. So,
yeah, I understand the difficulty of that position, given the potential for new charges. So, when would you like? How far out do you want me to look to set it? I can set it on a Wednesday, and we can see where things stand.
Well, Your Honor, don't want to go out too far, but the problem is I know 2 of your Wednesdays are the holidays. And I don't know if you're using other days those weeks or you're just going to pass those 2 weeks, but.
Yeah, so the 25th and the 1st are both holidays, obviously. So let me, I'm getting some other dates, Mr. Goldstein. I'll see if I can find a day on Wednesday that we can figure that out. Otherwise, it would be January 8th would be the first available, unless you wanted next week, which would be the 18th.
Well, Your Honor, I'm not sure, again, what the status of the criminal case will be that quickly, but I assume Mr. Hartung is right. It'll be this week. I expected them yesterday, but we don't know.
Okay.
You know, let's set it for next week just to see where we're at.
So next week's going to be December 18th at 8:15.
Now, Your Honor, once we set that, there is one question that I have. When he was arraigned last week, you set a bond of $25,000 cash or surety. The jail has it as cash only. We need to clarify. And my understanding is that bonds have to be either cash or surety, that's required.
So I believe the bond amount was $100,000, not $25,000.
I'm sorry. I meant 100,000. Yeah, I'm sorry. But the jail has it as cash only. And my understanding is that that's not proper, that it has to be cash or surety.
These is warrants on the current charges.
Okay. Mr. Hartung, anything you'd like to say with respect to the bond issue?
Well, I think the other part of this is what's going to happen with the charge he has not been sentenced on yet. There was a PR bond on that case. I believe the court has set a $100,000 bond of some nature on the contempts and perhaps the violations. But right now I think he's technically on a PR and not receiving any credit on that other charge.
Okay.
My understanding, Mr. Hartung, was he set the bond on all the cases, but I could be wrong about that. I didn't look.
No. So what we've got right now is when we were here last week, we were here on the one warrant, which was the violation of bond conditions. And that warrant had a $100,000 bond on it. So with respect to the underlying charges right now, he would still have the PR bond. So I think Mr. Hartung's correct on that. With respect to the 2 new warrants for probation violations, there's currently no bond on those.
I don't have no paper saying nothing about no new charges. This say larceny by conversion and this say R&O or something like that.
Yeah, and what you have there is warrants for probation violations on those old cases that you're on probation for those, and your probation officer has gotten a warrant for violations of probations, which are related to the same allegations as the contempt warrant in the 24 case.
Okay, how did
I'm sorry?
If I violated probation, why I don't see nothing. How did I violate probation?
I've explained that to you on the record, Mr. Simmons, and it's in the warrant.
Sir, I done been taken to the sheriff's department, been strip searched, everything. So how am I violating? I done been released from the sheriff's department. I done been released from the same day. So how am I in violation? They let me go. They let the lady go. Everything. Like they let her drive off in the car. They took me to the sheriff's department. Released
All right,
me.
so Mr. Simmons, I'm gonna stop you there because we're not trying the case today. And you have potentially new charges against you, new criminal charges that are going to be filed against you. And so anything that you're saying right now can potentially be used against you in any one of those cases. So Mr. Goldstein, then what, if anything, are you requesting with respect to the bonds at this point?
Well, Your Honor, you set a bond of 100,000 on the one case. I'm asking that that be made for all the cases, but make sure that it's cash or surety also. But we're asking for 100,000 for all the cases.
Mr. Hartung, anything further you want to say about the bond issue?
I think the court has set the bonds appropriately. You know, the whole idea of getting him out on that PR bond was to see if he could stay out of trouble. And obviously he's had some difficulty accomplishing that at this point in time. And I think there's probably going to be some additional bonds set on the new criminal charges when they are issued the next few days.
At this point, Your Honor, there, as the court knows, there are allegations. They have not yet been proven.
All right, I am aware of that. So I will check on the cash or surety issue. If in fact I'm required to make that cash or surety, that's what I will do on the contempt warrant bond. On the underlying file, the underlying file in the underlying charges in the 24 case, I will set a bond on that of $1,000 cash or surety. I'm leaving no bond on the violation of probation warrants. And the reason that I'm doing that is that, as I explained last Thursday when we were here, Mr. Simmons is on probation in the 19 case. He has several probation violations in that case. He's on probation in the case. He has a probation violation in that case. He is pending sentencing in the 24 case, which involves delivery or manufacture of controlled substances. 2 counts of delivery or manufacture of cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic. It also involved a host of other charges involving felony firearm, possession of firearm by a felon. And he has now been arrested and is likely receiving new charges related to, again, possession with intent to deliver controlled substances. And so at this point, think that the bonds are appropriate where they are because of the concerns with continued criminal activity on the part of Mr. Simmons. So that's what I'm going to do with respect to the bonds.
So what's going to happen if these bonds? What's going to happen if these charges is not true?
Then you'll be found not guilty and released.
I'm saying, so I don't get a bond for an allegation like these is clearly allegations that is not true. How did I get released from the sheriff's department and like, come on, man, like y'all can't be serious. How did I get released from the sheriff's department and be charged with a possession? Possession means I have something on me.
We're not going to argue this further today, Mr. Simmons.
Oh man, like for real, bro. Shit is getting out of hand. You can let the
officer know that you're done with court.
Your Honor, what date did you adjourn this to?
Next Wednesday, sir.
Oh man, this shit not even law, man.
Thanks, David.
So no bond.
All right, I placed Mr. Simmons' device in the waiting room, and I'm going to let the jail know that he's done with court. He wants to continue to argue the issues, and I'm not going to do that.